the studios of the Department of Communication in Phillipsburg, welcome to Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylveria Jacobs.
Good day and welcome to Prime Minister Talks. I am Sylveria Jacobs, Prime Minister of St. Martin, and today I have a very interesting program for you. We always see and hear our students and our other athletes, etc., going abroad representing St. Martin, and then you might see them arrive and that's it. But I had the opportunity to sit with two young ladies as well as their teacher and one of their parents and the UNESCO coordinator for St. Martin, Secretary General Marcelia Henry, to discuss the trip that was made back in April to Athens, Greece, where they represented St. Martin in the Cultural World Heritage Youth Symposium. So two young ladies, Natalia Gums as well as Jahida George, represented St. Martin in this competition or presentation symposium where they were presenting on the Netherlands, and they have explained to me in detail what a wonderful, wonderful experience it was. They were sponsored to go by the Minister of Justice, Anna Richardson, and myself. And for us, it was during the month of Women's Day that we felt it was a great manner of showing support for our young ladies to go out there and represent St. Martin. They had to speak, they had to present, and they had an ability to meet and mingle with many others. They were also joined by graduate student Camilla Gums, who is still studying in Canada, and we are very much proud of the hard work that these three young ladies have done. Take a look and a listen at what they experienced during that symposium.
We want to, of course, thank you for the opportunity to allow these brilliant, beautiful young ladies to be able to participate in the Youth Symposium on Cultural Heritage, which was held in Greece. And today they wanted to share some of the, let's say, some of the lessons, some of the great experiences that they encountered at the symposium. And they also have a little surprise for you after as well. So for this opportunity, I know they are so grateful, but you need to hear it from them. And that is why I felt it was necessary for them to meet you, to also share and also give some information as well. So, young ladies, who would like to address the Prime Minister first?
We was very grateful for your contribution. And we have a lot to share about what we had learned, about the different delegations and about the different workshops that we had and about our presentation as well.
Okay.
So my high point in going to this youth symposium were the first night, which is the opening, when we stole the show in our culture wheels, and also the day we presented on the Netherlands. At first, I had second thoughts because I was like, oh, to present to all these people, I never expected. So with the help of my teacher, Ms. D'Souza, I overcome my nervousness and we went up there, we presented, and we also stole the show that day. After we presented, we were crowded with a lot of people taking pictures, videos of our shoes and our clothes.
So what about your St. Martin, the first day, about the St. Martin part? I'm gonna ask you. Because I already see a big difference in the introduction before you went and now in both of you. So that tells me a lot. That it was a growth experience for you. And it just, I think it gives you wings to your dreams, I would expect. So from your end, what about the first night where you were wearing the St. Martin wear? What did you wear? What was so excited about it?
Well, our first night at the opening ceremony, everybody was like surprised to see us in such wear because they never see before. They didn't even know what St. Martin was. So everybody is like, what's that place? Where is it? Everybody was interested. So it was like,
is it? What? St. Martin? It's French? And with what? Where? And
That
it's
was
so
the reaction.
little, and they never knew we existed. And do you need a visa to go over to
next
the
side.
other side? Oh, just drive across. Wow. And sorry.
Yeah.
We just let you
It
have
looked
your
like it was a
moment.
great
Sorry,
experience.
but she was right. That's exactly the reaction
That they had. And what were you wearing?
I had on, I had red, white, and blue at top. That was like until here. It was strapless, and I had on the long skirt, red, white, and blue as well. Going down.
And what did you have on?
I had on the same top as her, but the bottom was a pants with the skirt
Tie
covering
it
the
over,
pants.
like pantaloon type
Yes.
thing. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. Which could represent the whole kingdom. Including front side. But that was good. And then, so you got a chance, like, what were some of the people that were interesting for you to meet?
The people from Croatia. The people from.
What was so interesting about the people from Croatia?
So what was interesting is that they had this one special lady. One special lady, everywhere we go, she find us somehow, take pictures. Tutus, you look online, we're online.
She was just interested
Very
in what
interested.
St. Martin was like. She discovered something new. So we sing the St. Martin song for her, and
That
she
was
played
online.
on the Croatian radio.
Yes.
She interviewed,
Yeah, she did. She interviewed us.
She asked a lot of questions about St. Martin. She
They
said
were
she
like-
had
She was part of the Croatian delegation
Yes,
as
she
a
was.
leader.
One of the teachers.
one of the teachers.
Nice.
She was like, she have to come here. She have to visit.
You
She
see,
was
there's something
obsessed.
about St. Martin, and we just think we're insignificant, and I think that is
I
an awesome story to tell.
The proudness that they had from day one
Like,
is what drew
People to
everybody to them. And you know, Marcelia and I, as well as the other teacher, before we went, we planned, okay, what are we gonna do the first day? How are we gonna dress? What are we, and you know, so it was evident from the first
planning
day.
went into everything.
Yes. So the fact that they were dressed that way, they stood out from everybody else.
no,
Nobody
everybody else was normal.
Yes.
We were the only ones.
In a cultural way.
The only ones.
Nice.
And then on the day of the presentation, some of them wore similar T-shirts and so on for wherever. We must talk about Croatia because they presented on Bosnia Herzegovina, yeah, and they are stalwarts. They went to Bosnia. Oh, we didn't have that to go to the Netherlands. They went so that they were immersed in that culture, and so their president. We missed it, but they did send us videos. Our children, though, we didn't just put on T-shirts. I tormented Marcelia and everybody I knew because it said they are going to be decked out from head to toe in a
Like a
Dutch
Dutch cultural
outfit.
outfit.
And it was really, disappointing that we don't have this available anywhere on the island. We couldn't find clogs, we couldn't find, but we did it. And what we didn't find, we made. So from the moment they stood up dressed as a male and a female, everybody stopped because most persons, because yes, it was, cultural literacy in this digital age. So most persons just did a presentation but we did a combination of the two. And these children, phenomenal, they took the time to learn the Dutch dance.
I'm sure you enjoyed hearing from our MAC CSE students and their teacher about their experiences. There'll be more to come. Stay tuned. This is Prime Minister Talks.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylveria Jacobs.
Nervous? Embarrassed? To speak to a loved one or to your doctor?
I'm never too embarrassed to talk about my prostate issue and the treatment I chose. Not being embarrassed probably even saved my life.
Growing up, I've always been involved in sports. I biked a lot, but I put aside my macho behavior and had a conversation with my doctor about my prostate condition. That what saved my life. Now I'm doing this to save yours.
Prostate cancer is the most common cancer among men in the United States. And because of our proximity, we in St. Martin tend to have relative findings. So I am getting my prostate checked every year.
Is the one leading cause of death among men of all races, but most likely to develop in older men and Black men. I'm not too embarrassed to get my prostate checked.
Prostate cancer is a serious disease, and I believe that early detection is better than being too embarrassed to talk to your doctor about it or to get checked.
Hey, Pops, did you get your prostate checked out?
See, that wasn't difficult, right? Just start the conversation. You might save a life. It may be even your own.
So what are you waiting for?
Man up, check up.
Hey!
Hey, what's up?
Girl, I heard you moved.
Yeah, I have, but I haven't reached the civil registry to change my address yet.
Did you know according to the law, you have 5 working days to change your address after moving?
The changing of address can be done in 2 ways. 1, making an appointment where you appear in person at the civil registry. 2, sending an email to burkazaken@stmartingov.org. What is required to change your address? A valid identification such as a passport, ID card, or driver's license. The deed of property if you're the owner, a lease agreement if you're renting, a GB utility bill, or the permission form from the landlord or property owner, including their identification. Who can change an address? A person who is 18 years or older. For minors, both parents have to give consent. Failure to register your change of address can result in a fine. For more information, please contact the Civil Registry Department at 721-542-0652 or email us at burkazaken@stmartingov.org. We are located at the Government Administration Building, Swaliga Road, number 1, Phillipsburg, St. Martin.
The Ombudsman is here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. The Ombudsman is here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. Good governance is a must. This institution you can trust. Guardian of the Constitution. Not one but more solutions for complaints against the government. Protectors of the citizens. Promoting good governance in our friendly island, St. Martin. The Ombudsman is here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you.
The Ombudsman is the voice and protector of the people. Visit us at E. Camille Richardson Street, number 13 on the Police Station Road in Phillipsburg.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylveria Jacobs.
Welcome back to Prime Minister Talks. I'm sure you enjoyed the first segment, hearing from our young students who represented St. Martin at the annual World Cultural Heritage Youth Symposium, which was held in Athens, Greece, April 26th to 30th of this year, 2023. And how did we get to know about this? It is all because of the intervention of our UNESCO Secretary General Marcelia Henry and part of the Associated Schools Network for UNESCO, which MAC CSE forms part of. So these students were chosen based on that. They were trained by their well-rounded teachers and Ms. Henry and joined by Camilla Gums, as I mentioned. Camilla is a graduate student, St. Martin Youth Council Parliament alumni advisor, as well as a former UNESCO Youth Forum representative. So she was able to also lend great support and experience to these young ladies on this first-time trip. So if you now found that they were talking about to be so interesting, the rest of the story will give you now the highlights of their trip.
So from the time they started, it was like, who are these kids? And everywhere they went, somebody was following them around, they were clapping for them, they were curious, they want to know, and they're represented as well.
That's excellent. We definitely have to ensure to showcase it.
The great thing about the Youth Symposium is that they were able to, let's say, converse and get to know other young people, their similar ages and so forth. And also there were young people from other UNESCO associated schools, which was also key, so that they can also learn what those young people do at the school. I know that for Greece, they were the featured school, and I think the Y school from
the United States.
Yeah, from the United States. So they were featured, so they got to see what some of the programs that are executed within the schools, which is nice for them to see that UNESCO associated school is international, and they, being part of a UNESCO associated school, have access to those other young people, to those other schools.
Virtually with them.
Yes, they can do that, and much more.
Nice. These things are really, I think, bridge builders.
Yes, they are.
The world is so small, and when you go out there, then you realize how small it is. People just live on one side of the world, but they have the same experiences, the same feelings, the same family issues, the same. The other Pacific Islands, you met any Pacific Islanders?
No, there were no Pacific Islands there. There were mostly persons from Europe. So we were the only Caribbean.
What about Latin America?
Latin America, no Latin America.
It was only the United States and Canada out of Europe. Yeah, that was it.
So that's pretty impressive.
So Marcy, we gotta commend you then.
Yeah,
because as a UNESCO representative in St. Martin, ensuring that tiny St. Martin represented in such a platform, that is awesome.
Yes, well, it was my pleasure. And for these young ladies representing St. Martin as they did, I am looking forward to next year. They have already sent me the dates for the next day in Greece of next year, 2024. Wow. So we're going to be also expanding it further, being that they are part of the UMAC CSE. High school is a UNESCO associated school. They will get the first preference, but I'm also thinking about expanding it as well to other schools. Dynamic students like this.
And you know what was interesting for me is that I was told they were shy.
Yeah.
They were shy.
Look at that now.
This one doesn't speak. So I was surprised that she decided.
Which one didn't speak? This one?
According to her auntie. But that's changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the better, right?
They had some chaperones who were very. They had some chaperones who were very verbose, interesting, dynamic, and friendly.
Build what you want them to become. So you were
and unknowingly, you guys speak the lesson.
They took the lesson just how they did. Well, I must say, I always commend. We want to continue to build awareness of the whole, sustainable development goals. Marcy, along with Bach, has done a lot of work, but after the hurricane, it kind of went there.
Yes.
And, so we're looking for ambassadors, and hopefully, even though you're going into your exam year this year, you will still see the need to contribute to lending your voice, the youth voice, to any and all things happening in the island, because you all can be impactful here as well. So you all have opportunities to impact decisions being made now. And so that thing about we are the future is no longer so. What you're doing today already impacting the future. And so the only goal I want from Marcy is for her to get some boys along.
Yes, definitely.
Because we are seeing a trend of
with the just
more, it's good, gender equity and all, but since I was in college, it was 60% girls.
Wow.
Over boys.
It would be higher now.
It's probably is because boys are getting more and more turned off in school, so we have to figure out how to keep them in school to be educated long enough.
Indeed.
I have any closing statements as to why you appreciate your experiences?
Not only am I proud of my country, but also I can go and tell others more about St. Martin, invite others to come to St. Martin and develop a better country.
And I was proud to represent St. Martin and to also have the experience of learning the different cultures and the different modernization made in the different countries as well, and to see how their culture different from ours and to learn about it. So I was very grateful for this opportunity.
I'm sure you enjoyed hearing all about what the experiences of these young ladies were. Come back and you'll hear the last segment of our discussion with Natalia and Yadira.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Silveria Jacobs.
Are you planning on getting married? When getting married on St. Martin, you have to submit a marriage intention by the Civil Registry. This can only be done by two persons of opposite sex. This request, whether in person or in writing, must be submitted at least 14 days before the date of marriage. During that time, the Civil Registry verifies the marital status of each individual getting married. If the marriage does not take place within 1 year, the marriage intention process has to start over. The following documents needed are a detailed birth certificate. Unmarried persons must present a declaration of marital status. If widow, a death certificate. If divorce, a divorce certificate. All documents must be originals, not older than 3 years, and may require legalization. Additional information and documents needed are passport copies of the bride, groom, and witnesses. All foreign documents must be translated in Dutch or English. The price for contracting marriage depends on your choice of location and day of the ceremony, whether at the marriage hall or away from the marriage hall, and will be minimum 315 guilders or maximum 725 guilders. Non-Dutch nationals requires attending an interview at the immigration department. Marriages will be performed after all documents are found correct by the civil registrar. The law separates church from state. Witnesses are minimum 2 and maximum 6. Please contact the Civil Registry Department for more information before planning your marriage.
Coronavirus is most likely to spread from person to person when we come into close contact with one another. We can all help stop the spread by keeping our distance. This means do not shake hands or exchange physical greetings, and wherever possible, stay at least 1.5 to 2 meters away from others. It's also really important to practice good hygiene, especially after being in public places. Together we can help stop the spread and stay healthy. Visit stmartingov.org/coronavirus or call 914 to learn more. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Government of St. Martin.
Good day. Can I have a box of your best antibiotics?
Good day. Sure. Can I have your prescription?
Prescription? Do I really need a prescription?
Why do you need antibiotics, sir?
Well, you see, I have the flu, and my sister's friend's cousin had the same flu, and he told me to get antibiotics.
I'm sorry, but all antibiotics are only on prescription from a doctor.
Why is it so difficult to get antibiotics here?
That's a good question. Let me tell you. When people overuse antibiotics or misuse them to treat viral infections like most colds and flu, bacteria can become a dangerous superbug.
A superbug? What exactly is a superbug?
Superbugs are bacteria which are resistant to most antibiotics, sometimes to all of them. They can cause untreatable infections. If we all don't stop overusing and misusing antibiotics, these dangerous superbugs will become common and there will be no treatment to many bacterial infections.
Boy, I'll make sure to tell my sister's friends' cousins about this superbug thing. Sounds pretty scary to me.
Yes, it is. Would you like to have some advice? I don't think you need all of them.
That would be great, thanks.
collectively preventing antimicrobial resistance. This message has been brought to you by the Collective Prevention Services.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylveria Jacobs.
I know you are super impressed, as I am, with these two young ladies, Jahira and Miss Natalia Gums. These two young ladies really have grown a lot during this process, and you'll be able to hear some of what this experience has been to them in this last segment.
So I was very thankful that you, Madam Prime Minister, and the other ministers were able to facilitate the travel of these lovely young ladies to represent our island, and they did an excellent job. I think that that was an investment well spent for St. Martin. We were trailblazers. The other European nations were extremely impressed by our children who were there, and I think we should see a lot of them knocking on our doors, because that is the feedback that we got. So we can't thank you enough for being there for our students, and we do look forward to working with you more in the future.
Thank you. Prime Minister, on behalf of the St. Martin delegation that went to the Youth Symposium in Greece, focusing on cultural heritage, we want to thank you for your contribution, which you can see by their presentation this afternoon. It has enhanced their personal growth. We saw their speaking skills have been improved. We see that their interpersonal skills with others was also enhanced by this experience, and also their general knowledge and understanding of other cultures within Europe, cultures within Canada, and cultures within America. So this youth symposium has done its job, which was for them to share information about St. Martin's cultural heritage, to also share information about the Netherlands, whom they presented on, but they were also able to learn about others. So I can say by this experience, they have become more global. And they have now become ambassadors for St. Martin, which we will be calling upon them to give further presentations related to UNESCO issues, related to Sustainable Development Goals issues. They will be called upon because of the investment that you made. So we want to thank you once again for this opportunity.
I would like to take this time to thank Marcelia Henry for your undying dedication, perseverance, as well as the Youth Council through Ms. Connie Francis and the teachers at Max CSE who input so much information, time, energy, and dedication to the students of St. Martin. It is never, ever a bad investment when we invest in our youth. We always say the youth are the future, but it is what we do with them today that will determine who and what they feel they can do. And these two young ladies have been empowered. So many others who have traveled and who have represented St. Martin have been successful, have grown in their personality, in their development, and are therefore now stronger and more able to take on the challenges of this new world. I look forward to being able to support even more of our youth and bringing that information to you, the people of St. Martin. Tune in to our Facebook page, St. Martin Gov, and all other platforms of the Department of Communications for more rebroadcasts of this program and others, highlighting all of the achievements of our young people. I'm Sylveria Jacobs. This has been Prime Minister Talks.